Hello, this is Al Arnold, your Villages Honor Flight Club coordinator, and this is your September monthly meeting video. Obviously, we're doing this again because we are not having meetings, but we are keeping in touch with you all because we love you and we really want to stay in touch and keep in communication with you all. As we always do, we'll start the meeting off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we'll take a few minutes to do the remembrance of those that have passed, our veterans and our first responders. Okay, now off to an exciting meeting. We have a wonderful speaker to start this whole thing off. Our Villages Honor Flight Chairman of the Board, Joe Hambright. Joe, over to you.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate handing it over to me. Joe Hambright here, calling from Central Indiana. After 26 weeks, 14 days, 29 hours, and 37 seconds, we escaped the bonds of the villages and came up to our daughter's lake house in Central Indiana. Kind of nice here. The COVID rate is low. The number of cases are low. So we're playing it pretty safe. Our daughter from Maryland came in yesterday after a week of quarantine and getting a negative test on corona. The other daughter and her family are coming later this week, and they're going through the same quarantine and testing. So it's be the first time since Christmas that we had a chance to get together with everybody, and it's going to be a good time. Now, moving on to some honor flight business, I'm sure you have a bunch of questions that you need to answer. So I'm going to take about 3 of the most common questions and try to give you some answers. Very common question is, when are we going to have our next club meeting? We have no idea. No idea at all when that's going to happen. So there's answer number 1. When are we going to start the vet luncheon again? We have no idea. Still don't know when that's going to happen. And the third question is, when are we going to fly again? All together now? We have no idea when that's going to happen either. So there you go. If you don't ask, you don't get answers. I'm just going to ramble a little bit today, about 45, 50 minutes, and then I'll pass it on to the next speaker. Let's talk about communications a little bit. Have you called your vet lately? I've called mine fairly recently, but not recently enough, so I'm going to get after that again, and you folks should all do the same thing. When I was in college, way back in the day before cell phones, we had a little room at the end of the hall where we had a payphone, and that's how we called home. My dad worked for the telephone company, so he had all free phone calls, so I'd call long distance and reverse the calls, and of course they were free. But the funny thing is about that generation, we always called them and they never called us. Now, Barbara encountered the same thing, and her parents all expected her to call and never vice versa. So a message for the veterans, call your guardians. You can call them too. The phone lines, remember phone lines that went from pole to pole? Well, they were telephone lines. We don't have many anymore. But remember, phone calls go both ways. So vets, call your guardians. Guardian, call your vets. Oh, if you haven't noticed, I brought a honor flight shirt here just for this meeting. So we're having a good time. I miss having all the interaction with you vets and guardians. It's always a good time, and hopefully we'll get back to this. I would be seriously surprised if we fly in the spring at all. I have no idea when the National is going to open it up. But if you're aware, we were a step ahead of the National in shutting down because of COVID, and we are going to march to our own drum, and we'll open up when we feel it's safe. And rest assured, guys and girls, that we will not start our activities until We being the board of directors and the management team are 100% sure that it's going to be safe. We will not jeopardize our volunteers. We will not jeopardize ourselves, and most importantly, we will not jeopardize our veterans. So I don't have a whole lot more to say except to the World War II veterans. Thanks for saving our world. Not much of a world right now, but we're going to get through all this. For your Korean veterans, I'm sure all you Korean vets that have been on honor flights recognize that we have not forgotten you. To the Vietnam veterans, welcome home. To all the other veterans not in those three categories, thank you very much for your service. Now I'm going to turn this over. I'm not sure who I'm turning it over to, whether it's Jeff Tafuri or Computer Charlie or Lunchbox Louie, but let's just say, here's Jeff. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Chairman Joe. Lunchbox Louie here. As Chairman Joe said, we really don't know when the lunch is going to start up again. Many vets and many of the wonderful volunteers have been in touch with us to tell us how much they meet the fraternity that we had in our monthly luncheon. We're also in constant contact with the villages Leesburg, Moose Lodge, our partners in the lunch, and another partner in our lunch, Operation Gratitude. For those of you who are new to the Villages Honor Flight family, Operation Gratitude honors all our vets twice a year. In November, in recognition of Veterans Day, and in July, in recognition of Independence Day. Operation Gratitude sends a nice box full of great gifts, mementos, snacks, and some mail for the vets to read from grateful citizens of ours here in the United States. In one of the recent Operation Gratitude weekly updates sent by its founder and CEO, retired U.S. Marine Corps Colonel Kevin Schmagel, was a video that touched several of us here at Villages Honor Flight. Colonel Schmagel was gracious enough to give us permission to include this video in this production that we're putting together for our September online virtual club meeting. So I'd like to introduce the Operation Gratitude video, Our Ethos.
We believe in the diversity of America and the opportunities that lay ahead to build a more inclusive and united society. We celebrate the diversity of our community of volunteers.
We believe in the goodness of humanity and that simple acts of kindness and gratitude positively impact others.
We believe in expressing gratitude to all who serve and protect our nation with honor, courage, and commitment. We believe that saying thank you for your service is the start of a conversation that leads to a meaningful connection, which will create a better understanding between civilians, military, and first responders and help bridge divides.
We believe in letting our actions speak louder than our words. Rather than simply writing words on paper or speaking from podiums, we are committed to taking action every day to forge bonds, bridge divides, and strengthen communities.
We believe in empathy, and we will continue to encourage our volunteers, our men and women in uniform, our employees, and the communities we touch across this country to forge bonds and come together to make a difference.
We believe in our unstoppable team, one that turns challenges into opportunities. We step up and support one another in order to achieve big goals and make a big impact. Together, our team will respond rapidly to an ever-changing environment. We will adapt as an organization to overcome adversity and meet the evolving needs of the communities we serve.
I hope the video moved you as much as it did several of us. And once again, thank you, Colonel Schmeigel and Operation Gratitude, for allowing us to publish your video. And Colonel, if I butchered your name, I apologize. I'd like to turn things back over to the Village's Honor Flight Club Coordinator, Al Arnold.
Okay, so as you know, on all these monthly meeting videos, we're trying to highlight a different branch of the service to give you all a little bit of a background of what the service is, what they do, and maybe a short video clip. This month, we're going to highlight the United States Navy, and we have a guest speaker. Also, a Village's Honor Flight Board member, our U.S. Navy veteran, Hector Bueno. Hector, over to you.
Thank you, Al. As we say at all Army, Navy football games, go Navy. The United States Navy is a naval warfare service branch of the United States Armed Forces. It is the largest and most capable Navy in the world, and it has been estimated that in terms of tonnage of its active battle fleet alone, it is larger than the next 13 navies combined, which includes 11 U.S. allies or partner nations. It has the highest combined battle fleet tonnage and the world's largest aircraft carrier fleet, with 11 in service and 2 presently under construction, with more than 330,000 personnel on active duty and over 101,000 in the ready reserve. The U.S. Navy is the third largest of the U.S. military service branches in terms of personnel. It has 290 deployable combat vessels and more than 3,700 operational aircraft, making it the third largest air force in the world, after the United States Air Force and the United States Army. The following short video, entitled "The U.S. Navy, a Lethal Forward Ready Force," will provide a more detailed view of the U.S. Navy. Go Navy!
Warrior, Guardian, Humanitarian, Sailor. Through the centuries, our nation has called upon the services of a select few. A select few willing to place the needs of their nation and countrymen ahead of their own. Men and women ready to sacrifice their lives and their freedom to preserve an ideal and a way of life. Overcoming formidable challenges and persevering in the face of hardship, they are the pillars of strength on which this nation and its people rely. We salute those who make our founding fathers' dream of freedom a reality, and who keep the torch of liberty burning for us today. The men and women of the United States Navy. Since 1775, sailors in the United States Navy have given all they have to protect and defend the freedom that we all cherish. Though the uniforms and tools have changed, the fighting spirit of the sailor remains the same. Then, now, and always.
Thanks, Hector. That was a great job representing the United States Navy. So the only announcements we have, I think, have already been covered. Joe Hambright talked about we don't know what we're doing for monthly meetings. He talked about our missions. We're not sure what we're doing with them. As soon as we know anything, we absolutely will let you know. We really do appreciate your continued support and look forward to seeing you again next month. So without further ado, goodbye. See ya.